Bobby Heenan making an exit earlier in his match tonight with Blackjack Lanza. And I don't mind telling you, Nick Bockwinkel, I can't help but believe you are one very lucky individual tonight.
Any way you want to put it, it comes down to this. There's not a referee in the world who wouldn't like to be the one who said he refereed the match the night that Bockwinkel lost the heavyweight title. It probably and undoubtedly was his call, and he would have loved to have been able to be the man to see that the title change hands. But he undoubtedly called it the way it was.
You know, Nick Bockwinkel, I've got to point out, I cannot recall too many decisions in your favor where there wasn't a cloud of controversy hanging over the entire thing, time and time again.
You know what it boils down to? This is in our possession, period. Stop the conversation. Now you're talking about me leaving the ring, bailing out, like people were saying, he weaseled out. The reason I left that ring was under protest. The referee wouldn't break the count. He wouldn't do anything in my favor. He let Lanza have carte blanche. The man did whatever he wanted to do. Blackjack Lanza got into that ring. He was wearing white boots, white trunks, a white hat. The people were ecstatic. He had everything going for him, but I still had my mind. I still had my brains, and I outsmarted him. I'm standing here 100%. I feel a little sore. I feel a little stiff all over my neck and my back, but I'm still got the capabilities of my mind. And Lanza, you think you did it, but you didn't do anything to me.
What about respect, Bobby Heenan? You've got to live with yourself.
Yes, I do have respect for the world champion. You're right about that.
Nick Bockwinkel.
And I have respect for Mr. Heenan.
Do you have respect for Brad Ringens and the terribly impressive showing he made tonight?
The man made a gallant effort, but he did
Indeed
not.
he did.
He did not get the job done.
The day may come, gentlemen. I will say that.
Not soon.
Fans, the 23rd of October.
We had say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the disc edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
All right, everybody, here we are. Ring Time Pro Wrestling is back at it again. It is another Keith solo ride. I promise you, Keisha will be back on the next show. Probably will be due out Sunday or Monday. We are here to have some fun and talk about some wrestling, get you caught up with everything that's going on in the week. I would like to say thank everybody who has been listening the past couple of weeks and downloading and taking this journey with me, just talking to you about what I've seen in the wrestling world. I promise today will be another interesting show with a lot of interesting takes on things that are going on. And without further ado, let's break this thing down. We start Monday Night Raw. We don't have a pay-per-view this week. But next week, NXT TakeOver is coming through. And when Keisha comes back on Monday, we'll do a preview of the NXT TakeOver show. And we'll talk a little bit about Raw and things of that nature. And she'll give you her thoughts on things that's happened in about the 2 or 3 weeks that y'all haven't had a chance to hear from her. Because I'm sure she has a lot of interesting takes on the things and the people who've been released and things of that nature, right? So we break into Raw. The New Day opens up Raw with Shane and Stephanie. And they talking about the brand extension. Because they worried. They hoping the New Day doesn't get broken up. Which I don't think they're going to break up tag teams. Hopefully they draft tag teams as a whole. I would like personally if they kept tag teams on one show. Whether it be SmackDown or Raw. Just like I think I would like to keep all the women on one show. Whether it be SmackDown or Raw, probably keep them on opposite shows. So one show with House of Tag Teams, one show with House of Women. And there would be a specific niche. While the male singles competitors would be, the only thing that kind of is similar. And I think you can make interesting matchups that way. And I think you can keep the storylines consistent. And you only really got to worry about one, separate champ in that scenario, which maybe you can use the mid-card belts to make your individual show champions, and a world champion can be like that flip-flopper. Even though I would like the world champion during their reign if you're primarily one brand person, maybe they stick to that brand, or maybe like this is where like Money in the Bank and places like that are influential, because now what you do is you can give the person who wins that briefcase a chance to win their way out of wherever they're at. You don't like SmackDown? Well, if you beat the Raw champ, then you go to Raw, right? I mean, kind of like how Benoit flipped it from SmackDown to Raw. He challenged Triple H for the world title after winning the Royal Rumble, and immediately took his talents over to Raw, which nobody was really expecting. They thought he was going to challenge the current SmackDown champion, but then, which would have been Brock, I think, at the time of him winning the Royal Rumble, but Eddie ended up winning it later. But, you know, neither here nor there. Benoit is up on Raw. And, like I said, you can use those kind of loopholes to try to pull yourself to the next show. Hopefully, you know, we use Money in the Bank. We use things like the Royal Rumble and things like that to help spice up the storyline and make things more interesting, and things are not so down the line predictable. Because, I mean, that's the only thing that's really bad sometimes with wrestling, when everything is just down the line, hardcore, predictable. No, nobody really likes that. But anyway, we kicked off the show with the New Day, and we almost get a Shane versus Stephanie dance off. Shout out to Shane. The Jays was killing again this week. Then the Vaudvillians show up to challenge the New Day. And I am upset with the Vaudvillians because they broke up the dance party before Steph got to shake her thing. We knew that was going to be epic. And for that, the Vaudvillians, you get the Boo Boo of the Week award. But with that being said, we come in and Anderson and Gallows attacked the New Day during a match with the Vaudvillians. So, hey man, I think the Bullet Club, and I'm not going to call them the club, man. I'm just going to call them the Bullet Club, just for all intents and purposes. They making a claim for those tag team titles, and I like it. I like it. The Vaudvillians just want to beat somebody up because they know they'll never win the titles, but they end up getting the hell out of the ring, and they said, hey, look, while y'all was beating up the other two dudes, we had Big E here in the ring. You can have this guy. He's our tribute to you. We gonna leave so y'all don't beat up on us, which is very smart by the Vaudvillians. Hey, the clubs look like they prepared to run roughshod over the WWE while they're there, and I like it. I like it. It's kind of funny because watching Gallows dominate, it's like, y'all know y'all had this guy, right? And just blew it all together. Y'all had this guy. TNA, y'all had that dude. Y'all just blew it. But to be fair, WWE, you know, it came back around. And to be fair, he developed more in Japan. You know, I think he got to get in touch with the personality more in Japan. Well, I don't know, like, even with the Straight Edge Society or with Aces of Eights, that they, like, really give a chance for him to show his personality. And that existed, that he had a personality. Because sometimes, which is still a fault of the promotion, but still, I'm just saying, maybe that's, like, one of those things where we blame development or things like that, but really it was just a matter of opportunity to showcase the skill. With that being said, that's the way to open up the show. The Golden Truth, I'm not really digging that. The Fandango and Tyler Breeze thing, yeah, that's kind of, yeah. So, what I did find interesting was, hey man, people who have been in the doghouse might end up in a little bit of a tiff that actually helps, something that helps both of them. Rusev out here bad-mouthing America that choked out Zack Ryder. Comes face to face with Titus ONeal. You remember Titus, suspended Titus ONeal, suspended for really no good reason. Something they probably could have talked out or whatever, but you know, here we go. He's back in the mix, Father of the Year, you know, for multiple organizations. Handling his business, doing what he does, and he's standing up for America. He's standing up for the red, white, and blue. Yes, our purple and gold hero from Omega Psi Phi fraternity is standing up for the United States of America. And Rusev was not about to deal with that. And he got out of there. People were talking to me about Lana screwing up the entrance, which I think she did twice this week. And I think the thing is, hey man, she ain't Russian. I thought y'all knew that. Just about Rusev is about as Russian as I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure you're from Detroit. No concrete proof, but I'm pretty sure you're probably from Detroit. So, yeah, it was gonna break down anyway. I remember when Kofi lost his Jamaican accent in the middle of an interview, and Triple H just called him out in the interview. So things like that happen. No big deal. Yeah, so going through Raw, pretty decent show overall. I think they got some things across. Enzo and Cass beat the Dudleyz. I hope that's it for them. The biggest thing that came out of the show was AJ Styles. AJ Styles got to meet the returning John Cena. John Cena is back. He's officially back after that injury that held him out for about 6 months. And he met AJ Styles for the first time, which to me was a very interesting dichotomy, putting them in the ring together. Because if I had to tell a story of the last 10 years of wrestling, AJ Styles and John Cena are huge chunks of the story, right? Because John Cena is still the man in WWE. You can't really dispute that. He is still the man. He's still at the top. It's going to be a while before he, all his thing fades off. He'll probably get another run at the title. So, Cena's is still officially the man. Then there's AJ. AJ should have been the TNA what John Cena was to WWE, right? He was a homegrown product. They figured him out. They spotted him early. He won all the titles, but they didn't protect AJ. And there was times where he lost when he shouldn't have lost. There was times he turned heel when he shouldn't have turned heel. There was times he turned face when he shouldn't have turned face. It just TNA found a way to make every mistake possible with one AJ Styles. So with that being said, AJ eventually left. Oh yeah, and the last thing, they want to pay him his bread, right? And eventually he goes to Japan. He deals with his other things. He works in Ring of Honor for a little bit. And bam, now he's in the WWE. And he's on the main event stage. Think about it. His first two conflicts are Chris Jericho and then Roman Reigns for the world title. That is how his career starts off in the WWF. But he meets Cena. They have a little talk. Then the Bullet Club shows up, who they're supposedly broken up. And we thought we were going to have a predictable tag match where John Cena and AJ Styles take over the club. But no, AJ turned on Cena. How relieved was I? You don't understand how relieved I was that happened. So AJ turns on Cena and starts pummeling Cena. And then with the help of Gallows and Anderson, they really put a work to him. They leave. The refs come out. Then AJ comes back and puts some more work into Cena. Anderson Gallows got to calm him down because he's just ready to put that work in. This is what I'm going to say. Great move. First of all, I think it gets to shows the versatility of AJ Styles. I think they've teased the idea of him being a heel a couple of times in the Roman Reigns thing. And I think he has all the tools. I think he has the right temperament for it. So I'm ready to see where this goes. But I was also so scared for AJ Styles. Look, after he had to run with Roman, right? He lost to Kevin Owens in a Money in the Bank qualifying match like the next night. After taking the world champ to the limit, you lost to a mid-carder and a chance to get the Money in the Bank. No shade to Kevin Owens because I think Kevin Owens is going to be a main eventer. But right now, you already in the main event, right? So you lose to Owens. I'm like, oh, here we go. You know how the WWF gets. They get a new toy. And the new toy is exciting. And they do all the fun things with the new toy. Now, of course, they never let him win the world title because that's too deep into the company, right? You can't win the world title, but you get to do everything up to, which sucks because other than winning the world title, everything sucks compared to that now because you've went that far. And you know what happens? You lose. Yeah. Yep. That's how it worked. But, yeah, I was very happy that the WWF made that change and they made that run. And AJ is going to get his shot against Cena. So now his feuds are Jericho, Roman Reigns, John Cena. Hell of a way to start off a career. Because I didn't know what was going to happen between now and July. Because July is when the brand extension comes. And I know he'll be okay in the brand extension. Because he's too talented to leave out 2 shows. One of those shows got to find a way to use him the right way. But I think this works out really, really well for them in the meantime. Anybody who's listened to me prior to this, though, too, I thought, honestly, they was going to go predictable with Cena. And they was going to do something like feed a Rusev or something. Right? Or even worst case scenario, like if they had kept AJ face, and him and AJ would have teamed against Gallows and Anderson, and then eventually beat them because Cena got to win his first feud back, then now it's not really something that they want to do. Like this one right here, I don't think he has to lose to AJ, but it'd be nice because I think if AJ beats Cena, then Cena can start playing that speculation, do I still got it? And that takes him down a deep, dark place where, of course, he can rise up later. But, this is what I'm booking, right? That's the thing about this. You go ahead and book. You know what I mean? You figured out where things supposed to be and who they're supposed to be. Hey, some people just need a little help. Right? It's fan fiction. If they like it, good. They don't, they'll toss it. WWE don't even toss it. They tell you straight up. They do not accept any pitches, which I think sucks because I think the fans can help you with your direction, but they think they know more than the fans, and we'll see how that policy works out. But definitely looking at what's going on in the landscape, and very happy for AJ. Dana Brooke defeats Natty in her Raw debut with Charlotte on her side. That is a good look for Dana Brooke. Beating somebody as accomplished as Natalya Neidhart or Raw says, hey, I have arrived and I'm ready to be a player in this division, and rolling with the head lady, you really looking good. So I think they will be in a spot to figure it out. And Dolph Ziggler faced Baron Corbin. I liked his take on the Man of 1,000 Holes that he did before the match. Then he went out there and kicked Baron Corbin and the kids. And my thing is, hey man, we got to stop kicking people in the kids in pro wrestling. Not cool. Not cool at all. People may well grow up and have families. And you up here, getting people in trouble. Getting people hurt. So, I just want people to take that into effect. But yeah, let's be better role models for the youth to stop kicking people in the kids, man, on TV. That's not cool. Not a lot going on other than that with Raw. The Money in the Bank participants had a match, and the baby faces won. That happened, but. So without further ado, that's it for Raw, man. Not a lot going on. Fairly decent show. They might have to amp it up if they're gonna try to keep people engaged during this, new wars. But other than that, that's it. We'll come back on the other end. We'll do birthdays and we'll do news. News is gonna be interesting this week, I promise you. And we'll talk a little bit about the Super J Cup going on in New Japan and where it stands and who is it, where they are in the standings. So, without, like I said, further ado, peace.
There are several different types of men in this world. There are men who dream and never make it off their couch. There are men who dream and fail. And then there are men who dream and change the landscape of this world. People like Bray Wyatt. Well, what about you, man? That's what I want to know. Aren't you tired of feeling unwanted? Aren't you tired of feeling like an outcast or being stepped upon? Well, then today is your day. Because today is the day that Bray Wyatt decided he was going to change everything. Today is the day that hell froze. Today is the day that pigs fly. Today, me and my people looked at fear right in the eye and we said, Mr. Fear, sir, you are a liar. Today, I want you to go and I want you to tell all these so-called world leaders that they better heed my warning. Take notice to Bray Wyatt. Because today is the day that Bray Wyatt decided to bring down the machine. Today, we say goodbye to NXT. For now. But if you need me, I ain't hard to find. All you gotta do is go look up in the sky and follow the buzzards. This world.
So welcome to the birthdays. Birthdays is usually our favorite segment. Today, the show will release June 3rd. So yesterday had a bunch of birthdays, really good birthdays. AJ Styles turned 39. Lex Luger celebrated a birthday. The Lex Express turns 58. Velvet Sky celebrated a birthday yesterday. Velvet Sky turned 35. No birthdays in the Spear going down on the 3rd here, but tomorrow the 4th, the Joe Malenko, brother of Dean Malenko, has a birthday. Joe would be 61, and the late great Gorilla Monsoon has a birthday in the books. The Gorilla would have been 79. So that is it for the birthdays, and now let's go to the news. All right, this week in the news, WWE and Ticketmaster sites no longer listing Takeover Brooklyn. It is still going down. For whatever reason, they just decided not to list it as Takeover Brooklyn. I think there might be some name changes coming to the NXT series, kind of as an offshoot to the brand extension. But right now, it will go on. It still will happen. I think they're going to change the name of the event. But they took it off Ticketmaster. But it's still going down SummerSlam weekend. And they said nothing really to read into the situations. They're just going to update with new logos and some new things going on. So it's still going down in Brooklyn, SummerSlam weekend. So I just still should expect big things from NXT going down that weekend. Cody Rhodes, big news last week. We talked about Cody Rhodes getting his release or whatever. He has given us a date that he will get his Freedom Papers. And that is August 19th. Apparently, August 19th is when the ban ends, where he can go out and work and earn a living and start wrestling again. He will wrestle on an indie show on that day. And I believe his first opponent will be Kurt Angle. So that will be interesting. And, he's going to go around and start making these indie bookings. And more than likely, I think he's going to find a contract somewhere. Somewhere going to lock him up. So, yeah. Interesting how Rhodes will handle his not being in WWE anymore. I don't expect him to sign a long-term contract anywhere. Honestly, I expect him to be back in the WWE probably in the next year or two. He may work out something with ROH, who I think could use his name recognition, and I think they got the money to spend because he's probably not going to come cheap. especially his first round on the Indies. I'm surprised this Indie show that he's doing now with Kurt Angle. They're up in like upstate New York, but apparently they got a lot of money to spend on the Indie show because they got them. They got Jeff Hardy working on the same show. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of money booking for them. I mean, I don't know how much tickets going for it. You know, I've never really paid more than like $10 to go to an Indie show, no matter who was on the card. So I couldn't imagine paying like $30 or something like that to try to see, you know, the star. I never really could work out the math how you can run an Indie show, to be honest with you, because I know how much it costs to get some guys in, and whew, what they sell those tickets for. Sometimes the concessions, I don't see where it adds up. But hey, man, a lot of them still stay in business, so they know something I don't know. Also, besides Angle, Rhodes has a sheet out on the internet that you can see on his Twitter account. He kind of tell you who you want to take a look at, and it's an ROH heavy list. So I expect to see a lot of Cody Rhodes in ROH while he is out. I expect him to deal with TNA, who if TNA survives, man, who they got a rough road ahead, especially with SmackDown coming to Tuesday night. SmackDown pre-recorded coming to Tuesday would be tough for them to deal with, but coming live with its own distinct roster, that's a whole nother programming set. That's a no. I mean, hey, little buddy, who's on like Pop TV and on barely on channels that people get, you gonna get bumped out of there. Sorry, because that USA Network distribution is gonna be hard to deal with. Plus, people will get their wrestling fix because wrestling fans were gonna watch the WWE show. Like, I think the numbers bear it out, and TNA found this out when they tried to go head to head on Monday nights. You guys have wrestling fans. I don't know how many of them are just pure TNA fans. The WWE has wrestling fans and WWE fans. So to have the fresh product coming out, people gonna want to keep up with the fresh product. And since your show is like pre-taped, they're gonna go watch the fresh product and be in on something live. In other wrestling news, the WWE is removing the 7th participant from the Money in the Bank ladder match. As you know, 6 people have qualified for the match. They've held open that 7th participant, and they said they're going to pretty much scratch it. There's no reason why they're going to scratch that 7th participant. Honestly, I don't think they need the 7th person, and that's somebody they could probably use for another match. Also, think about Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Seth Rollins is going to take over Roman Reigns, so that spot's locked up, right? AJ Styles and John Cena obviously going to face each other. The New Day probably will face off against the Club. So you're going to run out of people at some point, right? And you want to have relevant matches. The IC title picture might have something going on. I don't know if there's going to be a match for the IC title. Because if you think about it, Miz is the only person free. Everybody else is in the match. So unless Miz got into the match, I mean, everybody else is in the match. I don't even know what they're going to do for the U.S. title. I would probably try to produce something and maybe have something going into Money in the Bank. But we'll see how that all works out. But yeah, no 7th participant in the match. And like I said, I can see why. I think you could use that person somewhere else on the card and make the card overall stronger. There's some positive news. Bray Wyatt's coming back. It is deemed that he should be back next week. He's been out since April with a calf injury. So Bray Wyatt's coming back, so expect the Wyatt family to be also in the mix. Not sure how soon Harper's coming back. I know he had ACL surgery, and I know that's probably going to take him a while. But Rowan and Big Braun should be back in the mix with Bray coming up next week. Word on the street is that there will be a big push for Bray when he comes back. Not sure whether he'll be a Raw or SmackDown entity. That's one other person who I think will really benefit from this brand split, because I think he's been getting lost in the shuffle. I think he gets the good push and then he goes away. But with the brand split, he's going to have to be one of the stars of whichever brand he's on. SmackDown would be perfect for Bray. I think SmackDown is going to roll with a certain level of freedom that Raw's not going to roll with, because that's how it's always worked. And I think he could really do some damage over at SmackDown. And then that later on, when things evolved, then he could come over to Raw and have his run at Raw like other guys have. On a sadder note, the Jimmy Superfly Snuka murder trial. We haven't talked about that in a long while. If you know, we talked about it when it first broke. The judge in that case has been ruled that Snuka is mentally incompetent and therefore will not stand trial for the murder of Nancy Argentino. It is ruled that Snuka is just not capable of standing trial. He has early onset dementia, and certain things he just can't do. And hey, the judge was convinced enough and believes Snuka has not been faking being mentally incompetent. I mean, they've asked him questions at the depositions and they asked him questions during the trial, and he kind of forgets some of the things he said just like 2 seconds ago. So, yeah, that's that. This case closed because Snuka can't really do the trial. And, I mean, I don't know if the family will ever feel like justice is served. I think this last, year and a half or so, getting the story out was really good, and it was really helpful getting the story out. But because of the state of Snuka, it just really didn't work out, unfortunately. And it's kind of sad because I think after the new evidence and some of the things that we learned, it was kind of like, ooh, this is kind of sticky. But nothing was ever to come from it, and it's very sad. Moving on to other things in the news. Pat's Blue Ribbon gets caught hustling backwards. Basically, the WWE and John Cena, Cena has like 1,000 t-shirts, and he tried to make that bread because he keeps selling them, and people keep buying them, to be fair. He was doing a Pat's Blue Ribbon inspired t-shirt, and Pat's Blue Ribbon saw the t-shirt. Kylie got on Twitter, threatened WWF, told them they sent the cease and desist letter, and that shirt will not be coming out. Hustling backwards, Pat's Blue Ribbon. Y'all could have got paid, because what I let them put out the shirt and then say, "Hey man, I want that cut of them sales because that's using my logo and that's copyright infringement," and they'd have paid up. Y'all could have made money, but no, now nobody's gonna make money. And I'm sorry. It ain't like Pabst Blue Ribbon is some kind of brand where they should be above associated with wrestling. Now, I definitely don't think that. And I don't think they're in any hope or any position that they'll ever rise to ranks where people will be like, oh, that's just, I'm not drinking that. People who drink that. You know what I mean? So, I thought it was some advertising they could have gotten. And they could have gotten a check out of it too, and they're not. So, hey man, if you ever see Pabst Blue Ribbon going out of business in the next 10 years, no, decision like this probably is what caused them their downfall. Because all they had to do was sell, they didn't, and they were stubborn. But, Bischoff and the crew had some time, but they never could work it out. Hideo Itami is set to return in the next couple of weeks. I think that's really big for NXT. That'll give him a shot in the arm. Another big-time star. Also, that international relations with Japan will be a big deal for the NXT crew. So, that's going to be fun. Netflix. Right now, if you got Netflix, it's June. Awesome, right? There's a documentary on Jake the Snake Roberts that's airing on Netflix. It's not WWE produced. It's a documentary him and DDP produced themselves. I didn't get a chance to see it last year. They screened it somewhere around here in Atlanta, and I didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm definitely down to watch it. It's the kind of redemption story of Jake Roberts, and it's told through his lens and his own words. And I think it's going to be really good for him because, there's some things that came out about Jake and things that done to Jake. Jake gets it done raw, man. Like, Beyond the Mat was the worst, though. Woo-wee. I'm not saying it wasn't real. I'm saying they made sure they let you get a full picture of how you felt about Jake. Like, it was very obvious they was leading you down somewhere. At the time, it didn't feel like it, but now that knowing things and know how TV is made and knowing what all parties involved a little better and stuff like that, it's like, ooh, y'all tried to assassinate this man's character, make him look bad. And, you know, I'm sure there's no good answer for it, but, oh, shoot. That one would have been rough and hard to get over. But, yeah, like I said, Paps, you're hustling backwards, man. You could have made some bread. Now you are just a low-level beer company again. Who will remain irrelevant? Oh, I went all the way back beyond to that Pap stuff. Yeah, the Jake documentary. Good thing to see. Also, Netflix has ordered a series called Glow, which is going to be based on the 1980s wrestling TV show Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Man, if you didn't watch Glow, which there's a wonderful documentary that Lifetime people put together about Glow and the ladies and where they are now today. But Glow was a movement, man. Glow was its own thing. It was separate from any other wrestler promotion. All women. They told good stories. They sold stuff because there was a lot of ads in the show that they put in with the show. It came on at odd hours though. It came on like really, really late. So as a little kid, man, my parents just, I didn't say it was negligent, but it was great. I had a TV in my room. And I'd wake up and I'd catch all kinds of stuff. And Glow, hey man, if you hadn't seen the magic of Glow, go on YouTube, check it out. Big Bad Mama, The Farmer's Daughter, people like that. It's a wonderful wrestling show. Quiet Scam, Ivory of WWE fame got her start in Glow. It was good promotion. The ladies worked hard. They were a pop culture thing in the 1880s. They got a cameo on Married with Children one time. They've appeared in other talk shows. They've appeared on a lot of sitcoms. Yeah, Glow was that deal. But yeah, Netflix has ordered 10 episodes of a new series, Glow, which is inspired by the 1980s wrestling promotion Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's a scripted comedy series, and it will be done by the people who put together Orange is the New Black. So I expect it to be really, really good. So I expect Netflix to really take care of this because Netflix is doing some amazing things on TV. So they got that coming out. They got the Jake documentary, which they're airing right now, and I suggest you check that out. All right. With that, we're going to take another break. We're going to come back on the other side, and I am going to talk about Best of the Super Juniors that's going on right now, which I have confused with the Super J Cup, which actually is coming back after a long absence. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the competing cruiserweight series that WWE is doing. And with that, we'll let you go home. So, hey, catch you on the other side of the break. Peace.
Yes. Khosrow Vasari, Sheikh Kalahani, the Iron Sheik. Have you ever heard the expression, man speak with forked tongue?
You know, Jim, man, you're an intelligent American. You've been in the library. You read about a lot of different countries, a lot of different athletes. I just want to ask you a very simple question. I don't care you're Jew American or I don't care you're all American boy, but I'd like to ask you a very simple question.
Sure, go right
Can
ahead.
you tell me Barry Vandom and Mac Rotondo what kind of Pan-American been, what Olympic been, what the AAU been, what international compete they had? Can you tell me anyone?
Well, I would have to go back to the library to check that out and go back to the record.
What do you mean you have to go to the library? You want to tell me, are you dumb? Are you a fool? Mark Rotondo, Barry Vandom, every intelligent American know, just like my manager, Mr. Blassie said, referee, that Uncle Rufus was your cousin or whatever. That's because you're cheating us. No, you don't believe the Mr. Blassie, you don't believe the Nikola Volkov. I'm sure you believe Mark Rotondo, you believe Barry Vandom. For sure you are another all-American Jew man.
Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. I haven't given you guys a report from New Japan in a long time, so I'm just going to infuse it in this show. It's kind of funny. I've been talking about the best of the Super Juniors tournament, and I confused it to Super J Cup, which hasn't happened in 7 years, but is coming back August 21st. The tournament will expand. It'll start on, I guess, July 20th, but we should culminate August 21st. It's going to feature wrestlers from New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, CMLL, Dragon Gate, Ring of Honor, of course, and they're all going to compete. And Pro Wrestling 01 will also be in the mix, and they will all jump in and contribute wrestlers and have one big tournament and crown somebody the winner and hand out a trophy. Now, in the meantime, every night, if you get a chance to watch New Japan, apparently tonight they have a problem to stream and they apologize, but they've been running the best of the Super Juniors tournament, which is something similar. Basically a round robin tournament. You got some standings and you try to come out on top of your side, whether it's A or B, and then y'all face off later. Right now, in the lead in Block B is Ricochet, who is killing it right now. He won this thing about 2 years ago in 2014. Incredible athlete. Him and Will Ospreay have a match going out now from this week. During this, when they took on each other, and the spots that they do are crazy. Like I can't take nothing away. Those spots are crazy. A lot of old timers kind of like, oh wow, what's a spot fest? These guys are doing a spot fest. Hey man, whatever you say, it was good. It was entertaining. Like it's something next level. Like you talk about raising the bar on wrestling, that has been done with those guys. Right now, he is the leader in Block B, followed by Volador, who has 6. Liger is tied in second place with 6. Trinity Beretta and Bobby Fish have 4. Tiger Mask 4 has 4. So, I mean, it's kind of tight in Block B. Block A, also kind of tight. Taguchi has 8. Matt Seidel has 8. Kyle O'Reilly has 6. Kushida has 6. Rocky Romero has 4. Dave Finley is in the mix with 2. Dave Finley is Fit Finley's son. Pretty much they are going. Now this group is supposed to have the Young Bucks in it, but they got hurt, so they were both out and resigned. And that's how we got Dave Finley, Nick, and Chase Owens all in the mix. But so far so good. It appears that guys are turning in a good tournament. So they're going to wrap this out. Now, how does this conflict with the WWE? Well, WWE has a cruiserweight tournament, and theirs is basically be landed on specific dates. June 23rd, July 14th, August 26th, September 14th. The WWE is going to be using guys for Revolution Pro, Progress, Evolve, a lot of the Gabe Sapolsky brands, pretty much. You know what I mean? And people he does good business with. They will work with the WWE. It'll be interesting to see, because I think the primary talent in these divisions are all going to be in the New Japan shows. But I think if the WWE let these people get loosey-goosey and not try to overproduce them, they can come up with a show that is good and relevant and people will buy into. Only thing is that it's a one-off, right? But maybe, just maybe, after doing something good for a while, people might be like, oh, okay, I'll check them out. You know what I mean? But so far, so good. New Japan has really thrived. Because at the beginning of the year, we was talking about talent raid. I mean, they took Shinsuke Nakamura over to the WWE. Woo! Master of charisma. I mean, the guy is so cool. They took AJ Styles. They took the Bullet Club. I mean, heart and soul of everything. So it's like, whoo. Plus the people they got over at NXT, it's kind of like, what are they gonna do? But hey, I guess they just buy it for talent like everybody else, and it's been paying off for us. So it's kind of interesting. Pretty much that is it for that. Tonight was the NBA Finals, which was kind of weird. Golden State won. I expect them to win the first game, maybe even win game 2. I still expect this to go a 7-game series. I think Cleveland is just too awkward of a matchup for them, and LeBron will be LeBron. I didn't watch the whole game, and the parts I watched, I couldn't understand why I couldn't just keep giving it to LeBron because nobody stopped him going to the hole. But playing against the Warriors, I know the math 3 versus 2 will get you caught up. Not that y'all doubt me to listen to any of this for a rap, but hey man, the wrestling is done. Ain't much going on. Like I said, me and Keisha will have a preview for NXT Takeover. That will be out Monday. And with that being said, man, hope y'all have a good week. And we will catch y'all on the other side. Peace.